Okay, it says, is it recording? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're recording. I think if I looked at it correctly, there are 8 steps that, I think it was the first 8 steps. I know we had 8 steps that I read over.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just read from the paper. You are to analyze ways in which educators can improve 21st century skill development in 3 areas identified in the white paper reference above. You choose 3 areas out of what is mentioned in the paper. Develop a plan to address these issues. Include how the school leader, where am I at? How the school leader might formative assess each area concern. Each member of the group will be charged with describing one area of concern and presenting an explanation in the problem, the strategies, and the assessment process that will measure the impact of the strategies. Each one of you will provide the link to the Zoom conference with information about who is in your group and submit it to Blackboard. You will need to pre-plan your conference so you can get the 3 areas covered. Okay, so what we're looking at is how can we improve teaching in the 21st century. So some of the new skills, and if everybody looked at that white sheet, pulled it up, there were 8 topics listed. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
I'm trying to find that one now. I think I'm at the wrong one here.
Okay, so
what does it say at the top of that one?
It's listed under week 11, and it's the one at the very bottom. You see the readings?
Week 11 at the bottom.
You see readings? The last one listed.
Okay.
It says white paper 2010 PDF.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Get it, Dakota?
I saw it earlier, but now I'm pulling it back up.
Okay. So we had to pick 3 each ourselves. Each person had to pick 3, but we will only have one that we will be responsible for as far as discussing.
Okay.
So describing one area. So if you all have it pulled up, if I'm not incorrect, it's the 8 that they had listed. Give everybody a second to pull it up.
I'm trying to get it to open.
Yeah, it's not loading for me either.
I have to copy and paste it into another. It's the www.p21.org storage document.
Yeah,
I had to copy and paste. Then it opened.
Okay.
Copy and then, opening a new link.
I did that and it's still not opening. I opened it in a new tab. I'm going to try it in a different browser.
Okay.
I tried to do that too. I'm going to just go ahead and retype it on a new page and see if that'll work.
Okay, because I just did copy and paste and it popped right up. I think it's like 40 pages.
That might be why it's taking so long to open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it finally opened. It was just taking forever.
Okay.
I'll be there in a second. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So we're talking about the core principles?
Yeah, the 8 that you see.
On page 4?
I don't know what page. I made a copy, but I'm not sure what page it is on. Because I just kind of like copied and pasted the 8 from one page to another. The number 1, P through 12 education, we prepare for all students. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it, Paul?
Yes, ma'am. Students need to do preparing students between page 6 and 8, I think.
Yeah, P-12 education will prepare all students. That would be number 1 with 21st century knowledge and skill.
Mm-hmm.
The actual principles are on page 4.
It should be 8 because I'm not looking at it. I just looked at what I copied and pasted down. With the 8, it should
Oh,
have.
we're looking at those. Okay, the 8 core principles on 21st century skills and educator preparation. Okay,
One
so
through
we
8.
pick 3 of those to focus on. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have to pick 3, and then each one of us will have to pick one that we will discuss.
There's,
So even if we're a group of 4, we only do
yeah.
3.
So we do 2 each for 8.
No, I think she just wanted, so you would choose 3 areas. So I would choose my 3 that I would work on myself. Then it said develop a plan to address these issues, including how the school leaders might form each member of the group will be charged with describing one area.
So one of the 8 or one of the 3?
I would say one of my 3. If I pick 3, I would pick one of the 3 that I picked, but it all depends on what we pick.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones have you all decided?
I would prefer to do, I know I want the new teachers one. The number 4.
You want 4?
Yeah, that would be the one I would prefer to discuss. And then I don't really care about the other ones because I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to discuss them. So.
Okay, I was looking at number 6. I picked 3 for myself, but number 6 is each educator preparing program will develop a 21st century blueprint for transforming itself into a 21st century program. I kind of like that one, number 6. What about you, Paula?
Probably number 1.
A P12 educator will prepare all students with 21st century knowledge and skills. Okay. So I'll take 6. Let me mark it.
Now, do we need to, does Stephanie need to pick one from the 8 or?
She needs to pick one that we have not picked. So Dakota picked 4. So let me write it down. Dakota, you picked 4. Paula picked 1.
Yeah.
And I have 6. Stephanie said just tell her what she needs to do. Well, she has 2, 3, and 5 she can pick from. And I'll make a little note that she can pick from the 2, 3, and 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see. So each member of the group will be charged with describing one area of concern and presenting an explanation of the problem. So I guess we'll see what the problem is for the 21st century, what kind of strategies we can come up with, and the assessment process.
So basically, I picked number 1. So I need to cover all those pieces to number 1.
Yes.
We come back together in a Zoom conference and everybody goes over theirs. Is that right?
Right, but we have to present. So yeah, each one of us will have to present, answer all the questions. Like I said, the explanation of the problem, the strategy, the assessment process that will measure the impact of the strategy. And of course, we have the Zoom link once we finish here, and I always, send it to you all once I can get it uploaded on the computer. Then we'll put it on Blackboard. So right now we are just pre-planning. So do we have any,
I was looking at the one document plan. Mm-hmm. So the document plan I'm going to assume is basically what we talked about, but it's our plan written out.
Right, and some ideas. I think what they're asking for. I think for some ideas, pretty much is what are some of the new ideas that we can come up with teaching in the 21st century? I think that's what they're asking. Some of the new ideas. What are some of the ways or some of the things that we can do, I guess, to enhance what we're already doing now in the 21st century? Anybody got any ideas? I had jotted some things down.
Okay. Now we're looking at this as an administrator, correct?
Yes, I would say so. Well, yes, I guess I'm kind of thinking as an administrator and a teacher right now as I'm looking over some of the things I jotted down, but yes.
Okay.
Um, so really it's just asking about the educators. How can we improve, as an educator, how can we improve 21st century developing skills, I would say, in the classroom?
Well, for me, especially with number one, with education for students, preparing your students, I think a lot of the issues with most schools is having the tools and resources to do it. Okay. Such as, now I know there's some really good magnet schools and these, private schools that supply each child with a computer that they can take home and use and this, that, and the third. But a school like where I teach, every child does not have that resource. Mm-hmm. So it's great that we use it in the classroom, but they can't take it home and practice.
Right. I'm looking, I think, is it okay if I switch to number 2? I kind of like number 2. Teachers and administrators who possess, teach, and assess 21st century knowledge and skills. Is it okay, ladies, if I switch to number 2?
That's fine with me.
Miss Paula.
Fine with me.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
I like number 2. Because I had jotted down some ideas. So what are some of the things we can do that can enhance?
Make sure you have the resources in the building.
Okay.
Your educators are trained in this area. You might have to have some PDs.
Right. I was thinking about collaboration between the students and the teachers. One thing I do, let the students talk a little bit about what they want to do. Give them an opportunity to discuss what it is that they're interested in doing, and always, us in front of the classroom calling all the shots. Let them decide. Another thing is real world problems. Every time I teach a class, I always try to relate it back to the real world, because you can get a better understanding, bringing it up to modern day time. Some of the other things, social media. Some teachers, they do blogs with their students. And that I need to get better on. Maybe doing a blog with students. Let's see. I guess letting students use more technology in the classroom, not just the Chromebook, but possibly the cell phones. They can use that as well. And let students contribute to their own learning. Let them do some of the work. Don't do all the work for them. Make them think, Well, and something that I do with my students, sometimes after I create the PowerPoint and put the lesson plan together, I will get 2 students, give them my information, have them to take it home and study, and come back and teach the class, and I'll facilitate. If I see that they're going in the wrong direction, I will jump in and say, no. Let's get back on the right track. But I think that is a good, a great way. Dakota, you like to add anything?
I think we need to be cognitive of the fact that, well, not for me, but for a lot of teachers, the world that these kids live in is different than the world that the adults were in at that age.
What are you saying?
Like, a lot of times I hear, when I was in high school, blah, 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 or, they never would have let me do that when I was in high school. And they're not connecting with the kids because that's not the world we live in anymore. I graduated in the 21st century. So for me, it's easy. But, and I know the kids really resent that, and they don't tend to learn as well for those people, especially when it comes to content, because sometimes older people will say, oh, the content, they don't need that. I didn't learn it. But it is something they need for the 21st century. Stuff like the way that we do math with Common Core. But it doesn't seem like it's it's a good idea, but that's the 21st century way of doing it.
So let me make sure I understand what you're saying, that the kids can't relate to what older teachers are saying.
No, what I'm saying is older teachers, and even not that old, like 30s, need to be cognitive of the fact that these kids live in a different world than the one that they were in.
Right, and that's the whole purpose of the new 21st century. The kids are, they're more apt to technology and to do things differently. So actually, to be honest, we need to be able to catch up with the kids, because most of the students, the younger students, because I'm an older teacher, well, not in years, but in age. So I'm an older teacher. So I think really it's the teachers. I don't know what you think, Paul.
That's what I'm saying, is the teachers need to be cognizant of the fact that these kids that we need to get to where we're understanding the way kids need us to teach them.
Absolutely. And that's the whole purpose for this new 21st century. We have to think new 21st century. Right. We have to pretty much kind of do it their way, because this is what the new 21st century is: technology, moving away from pencil and paper. Right?
Well, I was a 21st century learner. I graduated high school in 2010.
Okay.
So, like, for me,
so this should be a little easier for you.
Yeah, like I've lived this.
Right.
So I remember when the 21st century stuff came out, and when a teacher suddenly started talking about 21st century learners, and I was like, what does that mean?
Right.
So I've been there, and that was the biggest thing for me, was teachers who didn't understand that I live in a different world than they lived in.
I mean, I understand. I completely understand what you're saying, because there are some teachers in my building who are like, they're ready to retire in the next year or two, and they're very much paper pencil. And they're like, well, I've been doing it this way for 30 years. I'm not going to change now. And they do have a hard time understanding the age now where kids are all about technology. They want to be a part of that. I understand what you're saying there. So I think they just need that. That's when the help comes in. They need someone to come in and show them. It's not hard, because a lot of times I think they feel like it's just too hard and it's not one more thing for them to learn. But honestly and truly, the kids will kind of they'll run with it. If you give it to them, they'll run with it. They know what to do. Absolutely.
And a lot of times I have to ask my students, when it comes to technology, because when I was in school, we used a typewriter. So I'm not kidding. When we were in school, we used a typewriter. So there are some things in technology I have to ask my students, hey, how do you do this? And when you ask them that, okay, it's on. It is on. Right, they roll up their sleeves. It's like, okay. And they feel like, okay, we can show the teacher something. And I think it's good. I think it's good. A lot of teachers, they have a problem with that. But if there's something in technology I can't grasp, when I ask the kids, man, they're all over it. So I think it's wonderful. I really do.
I think not just in technology, but a lot of times you'll walk, and I'm an elementary school teacher, and we do a lot in my classroom. We do a lot of group work, a lot of partner work.
Yes.
Some classrooms you'll walk in and they're in rows. And that's, lecture. You're not turning around, you're not talking, we're not grouping, and I think that's a part of the 21st century as well, is working with someone, collaborating with your partner.
Right.
Trying to talk to your partner. And a lot of teachers struggle with that, or they're just not on board with it because they feel like the kids aren't working. So I think that's a big part of 21st century learning as well. What it should look like.
The think, pair, share. I love doing think, pair, share with my students. I let them work in groups. We do a variety of things, because I tell my students, I would hate to be in a classroom while the teacher was standing in front of the class and lecture all day. No, That would kill me. So you need to be able to break it up. I try to switch every 15 minutes. If I start off with a PowerPoint, okay, let's talk about it. Stop. Now we talked about it. Let's go to a Word document. Maybe talk about it for a little bit, work on it, stop. And then sometimes I'll let them go to their Chromebook. Okay, we're doing this really cool assignment now on Buddhism. And we have an assignment where they have to actually use technology, but we have to use the PowerPoint, and we're doing Word document. So we do a variety of things, which I find interesting, and it keeps me interested as well. And another thing I thought about, maybe working with like-minded individuals. Sometimes it is hard for students to work with others that they can't quite comprehend. If I'm making sense, sometimes it's hard to work with a partner and you two are just not gelling. So sometimes it is good to work with like-minded individuals, but it's also good to work with someone different as well, because Paul, if you're an AIG student and I'm an inclusion student and you're an average student, Dakota, okay, Paula can take us in the right direction, and then you can follow up, and then I can follow up, since I'm, at the, I don't want to say the bottom, but, not quite prepared.
Right. Grouping and how you group your students is very important, I think. In elementary, I don't know about middle school, but we do a lot of guided reading groups. So we have to have our kids leveled, and that group changes every 20 minutes. It's on a rotation for reading class. So our reading block is more than 2 hours long, and it changes every 20 minutes with our groups. So, we're, trying to teach them a different way, and, just kind of playing around with it and say, okay, does this work for this group? Does this work for that group? So you have to be open to change for 21st century learning.
Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely. You have to be open to change. Go global, which I think is pretty cool. We haven't tried it, where you can talk with, and I don't know how the some school systems work, but it's a talk with people in different cities. You know how we're Zooming? Mm-hmm. Let the kids maybe talk with people at different schools, different students, that is the new global thing that they're doing now. And they mentioned go digital, go paperless. Now, I still use paper in my classroom sometimes, because I do not want my students to depend on technology 1,000%.
Right.
Because they still need to be able, just in case you have a day where the internet is not working, and you have to go to the dictionary or you have to go to a book. Technology is great, but I still do a little bit of paper and pencil. And some of the things that some of the teachers do at my school I think is very cool is with the Canvas, where they upload the assignment and let the students do the assignments in Canvas and send it back to them. And one thing I've started doing is if we have an assignment or if they have a paper they have to write, they do it in Google Doc. They send it to me. They share it with me. And I can make corrections while they're looking at it and they're making corrections. I can see what they're doing. So I think that is great as far as, being the 21st century.
I use Canvas. I use it for my 2 higher groups. Because over the course of the day, I teach kids all the way from certificate level to regular course of study level. And my OCS kids and my regular course kids get to use Canvas.
And one thing I would like to hear and see teachers move away from is, and I hear this a lot, and I always have to correct my teachers. No, we can't just do certain things for higher groups. That's why they're higher, because they're getting all of the...
That's not the case with these children. These children are children who have profound disabilities, and some of them don't talk. Some of them are in wheelchairs and deaf. So there's no way that they don't have Chromebooks. And last time we tried Chromebooks, we had major issues.
Absolutely.
So it was a decision that was made with administration that our certificate kids are not allowed to have Chromebooks.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, going forward for the 21st century, we need to be careful with... we hear a lot of my higher groups. We're doing this with my higher groups. You can pretty much do everything that you do, quote, quote, with your higher groups. You can do it with your lower groups. You just have to do modification. Because I do all of the exact same projects with all of my students. I have AIG, I have inclusion. I do all of the same projects. I just modified so no one will get left out. Because
I think that's feasible with regular course of study kids.
Of course.
But when I'm looking at kids who are on a completely different standard document.
I understand that.
So it's just not, it's not feasible.
Absolutely.
And because, I would say if you're a general ed teacher, you can't do that because you can't say that your lowest kids are different.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think that where we're at in my department, we have 10, 11, 12 years of data on each of these kids to know who goes where.
Absolutely.
And so, like, my certificate kids, I think the highest reading level is first grade.
Okay.
So for them, they wouldn't be able to log into Canvas.
It's understandable.
And they do use the iPads and they use the active board and stuff. It's just that the Chromebooks and Canvas, we don't use that.
Absolutely.
I've never heard of what is Canvas?
It's like Moodle or Edmodo.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go in and put assignments in. I think it's very neat. You can go in and put assignments, send them to your students. They can do it. They can test in Canvas. I mean, Canvas is very neat.
Gotcha. Now, I have a question because we all know what we're going to do now and how we're going to do it, but how we're going to present is just, I guess we need to pick a day for that Zoom conference, right?
Oh, yeah. And yeah. So
I have a busy week, and it'd be good for me to, like, know what my day is. I didn't realize it was so dark in here. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, we're going to have to pick a day. Where we can all give our part. So you would need to prepare your Zoom conference so you get the 3 areas covered. Okay, so we have to pick. It's going to have to be this week because we don't want to get any further behind. What day? You want to say Wednesday or Thursday?
I can't do Thursday. I teach Twilight Academy on Thursdays.
Okay. Wednesday?
Wednesday works.
I can do Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll say we will have this.
I can have it all done by Wednesday.
Okay, let me make a little note. So we'll prepare and present, to each other. What is Wednesday's date? Wednesday,
The 5th.
April the 5th. And I'll set up a Zoom conference for 7 or 8. 7, 8.
I prefer 7 because I'm usually in bed about 8:30.
Okay. Works for
7
me?
is fine. I'll be home.
Okay.
I should be, yeah. Wednesday, I don't have anything Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Then we'll be able to put it all together. Oh, yeah. It's a little busy week, but
I guess we should have the written part where I guess we're just answering the questions written out, have that prepared and sent to one person so they can, because it says one person submit everything.
Well, no, hold on, let me double check. You choose what is mentioned about. Develop a plan to address these issues, including out of school. Each member of the group will be charged with describing an area concern and presenting an explanation. So I guess if we do this, but each person must have the link to the Zoom conference. So I am assuming we need to do a Zoom conference with this.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you will provide a link to the Zoom
during the Zoom conference.
So I guess we could just do that. Each person need to have a link, but I guess just one. Everybody can present. So put it in Blackboard just to be on the safe side. How about that?
Okay. And so basically everybody have 7 minutes to present what they have. Roughly 7 minutes.
Okay. Roughly 7 minutes. Okay, so are we all clear on what we're looking for, what we're trying to get accomplished, and what we need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I think we will be okay. We just need to look at more ideas and because we have to do the 3 for ourselves as well. You know, because you have the 3 you have to do for yourself, and then you have that 1 you have to present with your group.
You have to do 3 for yourself?
As you choose 3 areas out of what is mentioned in the paper. Develop a plan to address these issues, including how the school leader might formative assess each area of concern.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's something we'll have to.
If we're doing 3 areas, are we submitting those 3 areas the written? Is that the written part?
I think the 3 areas is what we do on our own, if I'm not mistaken. in the Blackboard, and then the one that each one of us gonna pick is gonna be in the Zoom conference. Is that right? I think that's correct.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'll have to
Okay.
double check on that.
Let's double check. During the week, your small group are to have a Zoom conference that you will okay, yeah. You are to analyze ways in which educators can improve 21st century skill development in 3 areas identified in the white paper reference above. You choose 3 areas out of what is mentioned in the paper. Develop a plan to address these issues, including how the school leader might formatively assess each area of concern. Each member of the group will be charged with describing one area. So of the 3 that I've already picked wait a minute, you know what? I got a problem here. I'm going to have to go back. Yeah, I already picked my 3.
Okay.
Which is 1, 2, and 6. Those are the 3 that I picked. And the one that I'm going to share with the group is number 2. So you have to pick 3. Dakota needs to pick 3. Stephanie needs to pick 3. And then out of the 3, we pick 1 that we're going to do a conference with.
Okay. Gotcha. So everybody's submitting to Blackboard, and then we're doing one Zoom conference together.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, we have 7 minutes and 16 seconds left. Is anything else we need to discuss or talk about before we close down? Are we all pretty much on the same page?
I think so. I'm good for now.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good for now. Dakota, you have anything you want to add?
I'm good.
Good? Okay. All right, then I think we all should be okay. And once I get off here, I'll upload the video. And sometimes it takes a little while to upload. And after I hit upload, I will send you all a copy of the link.
Okay.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I will stop the recording and end the meeting. Are we good, ladies?
Sounds good to me.
All righty. Good night, ladies.
Good night.